So on an early Wednesday morning, the entire NBA fan base woke up to some shocking news, which involved the health of two stars in the NBA. First one being Chris Paul, who is now in the COVID protocols by allegedly getting a positive test for the Rona. Kawhi Leonard appearing to have a more serious injury with his knee that is feared to involve his ACL. Pretty much the NBA was crashing down, was on fucking fire due to the health of these two players. And a lot of people on Twitter were bashing the NBA and Adam Sliver for deciding to rush into the season and blame them for all the injuries that have gone on throughout this entire season. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the injuries that are not only present during the playoffs, but have just happened throughout the entire regular season. I hate that the league and Adam Sliver has gotten for this season, and address the question on whether this season should have an asterisk or not. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank y'all for the support lately. I greatly appreciate it. And with all that being said, let's get right into the topic of this video. So to give a bit of context to the situation, after the Lakers won the championship in the bubble, the NBA decided that they wanted to start the next season earlier in order to get back on track to the regular schedule that they usually have, where they restart around October. And they wanted to start the season around Christmas time of 2020. And a lot of players did not like the idea of that. They wanted more rest for themselves. The defending champions only got around like 2 months worth of rest before they would eventually go back into playing high-level basketball. So overall, the players did not like the idea of rushing to go back into the season. The Players Association and the NBA agreed to start the season around Christmas time. And as we have seen throughout the entire regular season, there have been way more injuries. And there have been way more injuries to star players of the NBA. The face of the league, LeBron James, the king himself, suffered a high ankle sprain that pretty much made him sit out a major part of the regular season. And with his running mate, Anthony Davis, that man, I don't know how many injuries that man has gotten throughout the regular season, but he missed a ton of time. We've seen young players like Donovan Mitchell, who missed a lot of the time, Jamal Murray, who tore his fucking ACL. Well, there's been a lot more injuries during the regular season, and now that we are in the playoffs, almost every single team that is remaining in playoffs are either missing their star player, one of their star players, or missing a player that plays a major role for their team. I'll pull up a picture right now on the screen, but a whole lot of players that are either superstars, players that are important for their teams that are either playing hurt, that are injured. We are seeing Joel Embiid playing with a partially torn meniscus. And now with the recent news with Kawhi Leonard and CP3, a whole lot of people are bashing the NBA now because of their poor scheduling. I don't know, these players have played a whole bunch of games throughout this entire season, even though like they decreased the number of regular season games. The scheduling has been so shit. I mean, there has been teams that have played like 6 games in like 5 days, played hella back-to-backs. These players have gotten little to no rest at all, and we are seeing it now. LeBron James put out a tweet after getting the whole Kawhi news, and he felt like a fucking like 3-page essay tweet. I'm not gonna read to y'all, but I'll put it up on screen right now. Basically, the league didn't listen to the players about giving them enough rest, and now we're seeing the consequences of it. Players are going down left and right, all that. Blah blah blah, you know. And I agree with them, because right now it doesn't even seem like we're watching NBA basketball to me. It seems like we're watching a fucking battle royale game. Whoever is the most healthiest is probably going to the championship this year. I mean, that is what Jamal Murray tweeted out. Almost every team has an entry going on. It's just getting ridiculous. I mean, the league wanted more money, because obviously if they were to, let's say, miss out on that Christmas Day games, they were going to lose a whole lot of money. So that's probably the main reason why they did it, why they rushed this season. But I mean, it's kind of ironic, because the NBA gets their money because of their players. I mean, that's just facts. The players make up the money for the league. So if they don't want to have their players get more healthy and be rested and all that, they're going to lose money. And that's what we're seeing right now with key star players probably being out for a long time during the regular season. Now we're seeing these playoff teams not even being in full fucking health. And it's just sad to watch, because these playoffs were meant to be one of the most exciting playoffs that we probably have ever seen. But now it's getting affected because of these shitty ass injuries due to the shitty scheduling that the NBA wanted to do. I mean, the 4 teams that made it to the conference finals last year in the bubble have now been eliminated in the first round, or they got swept in the second round. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that with little rest, these teams weren't going to be as good. So now that brings me to the final question that that people have avoided to answer on whether this season should come with an asterisk to it. And I truly believe it should. This isn't meant to discredit the team that eventually wins the championship this year. I mean, that is not what I'm trying to do at all. Ultimately, the team who wins the championship this year is probably a better team, or they're just the more healthier team. And a lot of people are going to try to argue that, you know, injuries are the part of the game. They always happen every single season. There's never a perfect season where everyone's just fucking healthy, and I agree to that. You know, injuries are a part of the game. That's what comes to, that's the risk of playing basketball. There's always going to be injuries, and there's never going to be a season where everyone's just 100%. But there's just been way too many injuries to not only regular players in the league, but to superstar players. Obviously, not all the injuries that have happened during this season has resulted from the lack of rest and fatigue from the players. Obviously, some of these are freak ass injuries. I mean, the Jamal Murray one, that's probably a freak ass injury. Probably the one with Kyrie Irving spraining his ankle. I mean, he's landed on Giannis's foot. Not all injuries are because of the lack of rest, but a majority of them are just because of the players have not gotten the rest that they needed. The players need the rest. The players are what make up the league and get the league money. And now that the league wants to get back into a regular schedule and start the next regular season around October, that means that teams that now go further into the playoffs this season is probably are not going to get the rest that they need, since the season is going to probably end later than it would if it was a regular season. So we're going to just keep seeing this over and over again, the teams that go further into the playoffs. So like I said, this season should come with an asterisk because it has been way different, because there have been way too many superstars getting injured, or way too many players that play a significant role for their team. So that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, comment down below what y'all think about this. You think that this season should come with an asterisk? What y'all think about the injuries that have gone on not only throughout this season but throughout the playoffs as well? You know, just give me y'all thoughts down below. And with that being said, hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'm out. Peace out, y'all.